Hey yo, what is going on? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, another wonderful tier list is out here ready for y'all. And in this one, we're covering the shooting guards. In the last video, we did the top PGs, so if you guys want to check that one out, link to it will be down in the description. This one also will include the new dunkers set that we had, even though it's recorded a little bit ahead, just so you guys know. They're in here, they're looking wonderful, and I was told that we should probably start with the D tier and move up to the S. That's what we're going to do this time. Let me know what you guys think about the new way we do it. Like the video, comment down below your favorite shooting guard, what you guys think of the list, all that wonderful stuff, and subscribe if you guys are new. And first off, obviously, we're starting with a D tier, and I'll just show you all three right off rip. We have Tony Allen, Ruby Michael Jordan, and the new Sapphire Duncan Robinson. And with a lot of these guys, I just couldn't do it. I mean, like everybody knows, Tony Allen is just a complete black hole when it comes to offense. Like, my man can clamp, but he's really not going to get any buckets for you. Jump shot's terrible. Like, come on, we all know it. It's fun, it's cool, but Tony Allen just does not have the animations in order to make him usable, and he's also a little undersized. The Ruby Michael Jordan, he is a slasher with no quick first step. He's nice and fast. The defensive stats are good, but he doesn't have any sort of clamps. And really all of his badges are in finishing, besides two defensive ones that are like, okay. You know, I'm not feeling it on this Michael Jordan. Some might disagree and put him into C, but I couldn't do it. And then last but not least, the Duncan Robinson. Amazing shooter, but for me personally, if you're going to be just a shooter, I feel like you kind of have to have a little bit of range extender or a little bit of finishing ability. And Duncan only has like silver cross key scorer, a 78 driving layup, a 70 driving dunk, no quick first step, no sort of defense at all, and 63s in his speed. No thank you. I'm going to do him, you know, for challenges and stuff like that, but I'm not grinding or not using him legitly. Now in the C tier, we have controversial picks here and there, and that's just how I'm feeling. First off, we have the new Diamond CJ McCollum, and he's a card that I've really tossed between C and B tier. If you want to put him B tier, I get it. If you want him C tier, that's where I have him right now. And the thing about the CJ McCollum, and he is an amazing, and I mean an amazing offensive player, but he is severely held back by the fact that he doesn't have any quick first step. So a lot of the dribble moves that you're going to be doing, they're just a little bit lackluster. He only has bronze range extender. He has silver steady shooter, which is not ideal. Defense is completely horrid. I really just couldn't do it. He's an amazing shooter with an amazing jump shot and some really nice dribbling moves, but without quick first step, having silver steady, I really could not put him above C. Next up, we have Byron Scott, a card that I've personally come to like a little bit, if I'm being honest, but his primary position is a shooting guard, and at the shooting guard, I feel like he really just ain't all that. He's not one of the pure shooters that you have. You can add one defensive badge to him, which is clamps, and you kind of need to add clamps to him to be really good, as well as quick first step. But the thing that really holds Byron Scott back is you have to add quick first step, and you have to add clamps to him. So there's not really too many things that you can add to other than that, because you could add range extender as well, but he has no finishing badges, so you have to add finishing badges to him to get the most out of him there, or just miss every single thing in the paint. If you want him to be your point guard, you have to add playmaking badges, but you've already used 2 of your slots, and there's not too many on a Ruby. So I feel like there's not a lot of leeway on this Byron Scott card. I had to throw him at C because he is an amazing card if you badge him out, but there's just not enough badge slots to truly, I think, take his potential to the next level. So C tier it was. Next up, Rip Hamilton, a card that I absolutely love. I'm money with the jump shot, but yeah, Rip Hamilton is he's a little lackluster at this point. Amazing shooter, amazing shooter with some pretty solid finishing, and he has really good perimeter defense of an 89, but he has no defensive badges at all. Again, we don't have quick first step, and really he's going to be kind of like a shooter with some slight finishing and no range extender again, and I just feel like he's really held back. If that 89 perimeter defense led to like a silver clamps, we'd easily be talking about Rip Hamilton being in B tier, but I can't do it. I cannot do it. And same thing goes with Ray Allen. But Ray Allen is definitely, in my opinion, a bit better than Rip Hamilton. I like the jump shot better, and you can actually add quite a bit of good finishing badges to Ray Allen to make him better, and he does come with gold range extender, which is amazing. But there are big negatives to this Ray Allen as well, keeping him from being as amazing as he could be. That's no hot zone hunter, no green machine, no flexible release, no quick first step. But he has pick dodger, so he can play a little bit of better defense with him. But again, we don't have really solid shooting badges, so while he does have something good in range extender, he's missing some really key other badges. He's pretty slow as well, and he's going to feel like he's not playing any sort of defense because the stats are low. So I love this Ray Allen card so much. He's one of my favorite ones to just use and just shoot around with, but he's not as good as you really would hope for. Next up, we have the Amethyst Michael Jordan. Obviously, this is going to be a little weird, putting a Jordan card just slightly above his Ruby one that's in D tier. But with this clutch Michael Jordan, it's tough for me because he only has bronze clamps. You can't upgrade it at all. There's also, again, no quick first step. We can't have any sort of shooting badges. Our finishing badges are actually pretty solid, really good, and you can add Giant Slayer to him to really get the most out of him. And he's super quick, speed boost, 90 driving dunk. But I think as a shooting guard, you kind of want a really good shooter. You want your point guard kind of to be that slasher to drive and kick with, and the shooting guard is supposed to be that really good shooter that can play some good defense. So I feel like Michael Jordan only having a 69.3 is really tough, and then not having quick first step either, so you can't like pass it to him and drive quick and get those blow bys. To me, it just really wasn't worth it to put him anything higher than C. Next up, Ruby Marcus Smart, a card that I was a little hopeful for when I first saw him, but then when I actually looked, it's tough, man. He can't play PG like his old Diamond in 2K20. We'll probably get eventual better Marcus Smart that can, but this one can't. And with Marcus Smart, he has no finishing badges, no shooting badges, and no playmaking badges, and you can't give him any. Only has defensive badges, and only the defensive badges that he has can be upgraded. But in saying that, they're some of the best defensive badges in the game. Clamps, Interceptor, Intimidator, Pick Dodger, Pickpocket, like some of the best ones. Some amazing defense, solid speed, decent playmaking. Is a 79 shot 3, which is solid. 74 mid-range, again, solid. But our tendencies definitely aren't good. Our dribbling moves are not too bad, and his jump shot, not too bad again. But what's the point of having a good jump shot if you don't have any sort of badges to help you out? So Marcus Smart had to go in C tier because he's like Tony Allen, just with a little bit more offensively, because his jump shot isn't horrid. And then last but not least, end of this tier, we have James Harden, a card that would be absolutely overpowered if they did boost him up, I think, a little bit more than they did. So I understand why they did what they did. James Harden is a 6'5", 6'10" wingspan shooting guard, which is crazy. Has no hot zones inside the paint, aside from one, which is one 3-point spot on the right side of the court. Only has silver badges, and 37 of them at that. I will give credit, though, to James Harden. He does have silver quick first step and silver range extender, which is going to be amazing. But most of his shooting stats are below 80s. His driving dunk is only a 70. 81 speeds is pretty good, but the defense is absolutely horrid. There's nothing above a 70 besides his pass perception, which is horrid. And other than that, other than being just an offensive demon, James Harden gives you absolutely nothing. And with all silver badges, I really don't feel like he's going to be that overpowered. If you're going to do anything, I guess pick up his Sapphire or Amethyst, which is basically the exact same card, except it has just slightly better shooting, slightly better dunking. But really, there's no point in using James Harden at this point in the year, unless you're going to be using him with the Russell Westbrook duo on his Amethyst, but really is not too much reason. Coming in at the B tier, starting it off, is going to be Buddy Hield. Now, Buddy Hield was a card for me that I felt like it was a little awkward to rank, but I ended up going with the B tier with Buddy Hield, and that's because he has some really nice hot zones, 11 gold badges, a lot of them in shooting, including range extender, which can be upgraded, and then he has unpluckable on gold and quick first step. Now, our defense is just as bad as Harden's, just maybe better stats. We can speed boost, amazing, 70 driving dunk, solid speed, really good jump shot with the Kobe Bryant base. I love the Pro 6 behind the back, one of the better ones in the game. It is super cheesy, super nice, and I feel like I just really like the ability of Buddy Hield, the better animations, just the better gold badges that really I feel like help out personally a little bit more. If you wanted to knock Buddy Hield down at the same pace as, you know, James Harden, I could totally understand it. But for me, I think I'm going to take Buddy Hield just a little bit higher than James Harden. Next up, we have the Pink Diamond Brandon Roy, which some people might think I'm dogging a little bit too hard. But in my personal opinion with Brandon Roy, I feel like he can be a top shooting guard if you use him correctly, like just straight offense. But not being able to get clamps despite every other defensive badge, it hurts. Not being able to get range extender, it hurts. He has quick first step. He has a lot of good offensive badges. And on offense, he's pretty nice. He's not going to feel as great as you want him to be, but he is still a demon. And I've seen some people that actually know how to use him with the Treyberg base and have absolutely killed it. But for me, he hasn't been amazing. You have a little bit of solace, though, in that you do get the Greg Oden boost, giving him an 87.3 and a 98 driving dunk, which is amazing. And Oden becomes a demon with that boost. But Brandon Roy, I feel like, is very middle of the yard right now. Hopefully, we get maybe another Pink Diamond that's like a 96 overall that fixes his defensive liability and makes him a little bit better. But it does hurt. Next up, we have Allen Iverson, who I think offensively is definitely an A tier card, maybe even S, but defensively is definitely down in D tier, and he is a 6-foot shooting guard. So you really want to play him at the PG. I think if I was ranking him as a PG, I probably could put him A tier and get away with it pretty handedly. But the thing is, he has amazing defensive stats, but we can't give him clamps again. Pretty common thing that hurts. Quick first step is amazing. He has ankle breaker on Hall of Fame and tight handles, as well as Giant Slayer, so he's going to be great. Treyberg base is amazing. His shooting badges are great. The finishing badges are insane with an 80 driving dunk. He can speed around the court with a 94 speed, 95 on ball steal tendency, beautiful dribbling animations, and his Ruby was probably one of my favorite in the game when I actually upgraded him. But this Diamond's defense is just, it ain't it, man. And same thing goes with Allen Houston. Allen Houston is a card that I feel like I always hate putting him too low, just because Allen Houston, if you know how to use my man Allen Houston correctly, oh my lord, is it a tough time. He has some beautiful range extender, and some okay defensive stats. You know, we're looking like Ray Allen type defense, but nice and quick. Beautiful Ray Allen jump shot. The profile moving behind the back. Some cheesy, you know, dribbling sigs that you can actually work with really well. And I'll keep saying it, if you go against somebody who knows how to use this Allen Houston, it is basically over for you. Especially with that duo with Bill Laimbeer, it makes them both just demons. It is super hard to go against. And Bill Laimbeer, not Bill Laimbeer, Allen Houston is just amazing, but that defense is definitely sus. And same thing goes with Shea Gildon-Alexander. You can see our B tier is filled with a lot of cards that are like absolute demons offensively, but their defense is it is terrible. And the same thing goes with this Shea Gildon-Alexander. With Shea, we have beautiful size of 6'5" at the shooting guard, even a 7-foot wingspan, and one of the best Hall of Fame badges in the game in Hot Zone Hunter, which is amazing because he's a great release. But other than Hot Zone Hunter for shooting, we have Green Machine, Ice and Veins, and Slippery Off Ball on silver, and that is it. So quick first step on gold is amazing. Some beautiful finishing, solid defense, but no defensive badges and no ability to upgrade them. Speed boost, really nice, you know, speed. Awesome animations, but the Shea is just held back by the fact that his shooting badges definitely aren't great, and his defense is basically non-existent. If you could make this Shea, you know, have clamps and a few more badges like catch and shoot even, this Shea would probably be into A tier, but there's just too many negatives, I think, that really hinder his ability. Next up, we have Larry Hughes, who's a card that, again, I struggled with putting between A and B tier, and that's because Larry Hughes, I feel like, is a very solid card that does a little bit of everything very well. Once we're also talking about him after eval, he gets so many badges, including Green Machine, which is nice. Some really good defensive badges, even has silver clamps, silver quick first step, awesome finishing, solid defense, decent driving dunk, good speed, can speed boost as well, decent shot 3, decent midi, and even an 80 contest shot, which is nice. But his jump shot 72, I absolutely hate it. His dribbling moves are not great, and I feel like he just does not shoot nearly as good as I want him to, or I feel like he should. He feels like, to me, more of a slasher to the basket that can play a little bit of defense. His jump shot just too slow, and I just can't do it. And that's why I got him in B tier. Next up, we have Amethyst Kobe Bryant, and I always hate putting Kobe Bryant cards lower on it because I feel like Kobe is just absolutely amazing. And, you know, he's always one of my favorite players every single year because he is one of my favorite players, period. But with this Kobe Bryant, we only have our hot zones at 3-point in the corners, which is a little bit tough. Our finishing badges are solid, but I wish they were a little bit better. We only have, you know, contact finisher on bronze, and we have no Giant Slayer. A little bit tough. The shooting, though, very, very solid. I feel like, again, it's really solid. We have bronze clamps, but, you know, bronze clamps can only do so much to help you out. We don't have range extenders, so we can't really ignore the bad defense by being able to shoot amazing. And we have no quick first step, so getting to the rim is a little bit tough. But in saying that, Kobe has some of the best animations in the entire game that you just love. And there is a little bit of solace in the fact that if you run the Lamar Odom duo, you can actually get some really, really solid games in. But Kobe himself, I had to throw him into B tier, sadly. Next up, we have the Diamond Gail Goodrich, another one of the cards that is a primary position shooting guard, but you definitely should be running at the point guard because he's 6'1". Some amazing hot zones, 1 Hall of Fame badge, and catch and shoot, which is beautiful. But another card that suffers from the, wow, I am amazing offensively, but I just have no defense. And he also has some pretty shit dribbling moves, for being honest. But jump shot 28, solid jump shot, absolutely love it. The Michael Cooper jump shot, if anybody is wondering, which it is, that's what you got rocking with Gail Goodrich. I feel like at some point we'll probably get a pink diamond or an opal Gail, who probably will be an absolute demon, but right now, yeah, he's just not it. Next up, Ruby Aaron Gordon, one of my favorite cards to use in the entire game. Like, Eric Gordon is just an absolute demon. I did a gameplay with him and absolutely killed it. Like, Aaron Gordon is amazing, but again, another card, offensive demon with just no defense. He has quick first step, he has silver range extender, a money jump shot in Oscar Robertson. So whenever we get that eventual diamond or above Oscar, you best believe that he's going to be amazing. He even has a 70 driving dunk, he can speed boost, absolutely insane. But again, we got no defense, so as good as this Eric Gordon is, I just cannot warrant putting him above that. And same thing goes with this Isaiah Rider. I've seen a lot of people absolutely love this Isaiah Rider, and for good reason. He has the LeBron James jump shot, which once you get Isaiah Rider's 3-point above a 90, actually has the biggest green window in the entire game, like 59 milliseconds or something like that. And it's honestly insane. So you're going to be greening like crazy with this Isaiah Rider if you know how to time the jump shot. And he has 4 Hall of Fame badges, pogo stick for whatever reason, fast break finisher, showtime, and teardropper. So in the paint, he's going to be amazing. Shooting is going to be amazing, but we don't have quick first step, which is tough. But we can add clamps to him to help the defense along a little bit, as well as every other defensive badge. But we can't add any shooting, playmaking, or finishing badges. And one of those playmaking badges we're going to need to add is definitely quick first step. And I'm a big hater on cards that are supposed to be really good slashers and then don't have quick first step. The great thing about Isaiah Rider, he has an 88 on-ball steal tendency and a 90 contest shot, which is amazing. But his dribbling moves when he does speed boost are definitely lackluster, which is a little bit tough. But in saying that, there is some solace in that if we get a better Isaiah Rider, he's going to be a demon. It's just this year, I can't do it. Lack of quick first step, just cannot do it. Next up, into the A tier, we have Victor Oladipo, who is just, you know, that guy that can do a little bit of everything. 6'4". We have 5 Hall of Fame badges. Pick dodger, which is, come on, amazing. Contact finisher, again, come on, amazing. And a few other ones that are, like, good, but just kind of, like, throw in Hall of Fame badges. He has gold clamps as well, which is amazing. And again, a lack of quick first step. But I think the thing that I like about Victor Oladipo versus somebody like Isaiah Rider is because we're already coming with clamps, I don't have to have that extra expense to get, you know, the better defense. He already has insane defense, has solid shooting, has solid finishing, so he's just a little bit above. Has a 90 contest shot as well, which is amazing. A really solid jump shot, beautiful dribbling moves as well, which is definitely a plus to somebody like Isaiah Rider. So Oladipo landing into the A tier for me. Next up, we have Pistol Pete Maravich's Pink Diamond, a card that as soon as I saw, I was, I was gassed. But then we go ahead and look at him, and he's a little bit tough. And that's because we cannot add clamps again. It's just something that they love to do. But we do have 7 Hall of Fame badges, which are amazing. And offensively, he's probably one of the best cards on the entire list if you add Flexible Release, Green Machine, and Hot Zone Hunter to him, because he does not come with them off rip. If you do that, it is over for your opponent because he has a gold range extender already. But Pistol Pete actually cannot to get to the paint and dunk on everybody. He'll be doing some fillet finishes, which is nice, and has some pretty solid dribbling moves. You know, the Pro 6 behind the back, which is beautiful, and he has the Ray Allen jump shot base. But the defense, it's tough. It is bad, and not having defense and not being able to dunk are two pretty big negatives. So although he has some amazing, you know, offensive abilities, I couldn't give him that jump into S tier. Next up, we have Michael Cooper. Now, Michael Cooper is probably just one of those budget cards that I feel like everybody at this point knows and absolutely loves. Has 1 Hall of Fame badge, being clamps, so you can see why everybody loves him. You can add every single playmaking badge to him if you wanted to, besides Unpluggable, which is solid. Again, you can add a lot of quality finishing badges. You can add Green Machine, you can add Hot Zone Hunter, which you kind of have to do, and then once you do those, Mike Cooper's over. He has an 84 driving dunk, which is amazing. Some solid speed stats. Some really good defense. Like, really good defense. An 83 shot 3, 80 shot mid, which is beautiful. Also has the Byron Scott duo, which will really help him out. But to get the most out of this Michael Cooper, just boost up. Give him that quick first step. Give him Hot Zone Hunter. Give him Green Machine. And maybe contact finisher. Give him like a, you know, Mike D'Antoni coach boost, for example, and then he has like an 87 shot 3. If you wanted to add a shoe as well, you now have a 90 shot 3 with Michael Cooper, and it's over. He has jump shot 28, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Some okay dribbling moves, but you know, with Michael Cooper, which got kind of just doing that, you know, 3-and-D essence thing. I just feel like he does what he does so well and just shooting the 3 ball like crazy and playing some good defense that I had to throw him up into the A tier. And same thing goes with our next card, Amethyst Doug Christie, who is just kind of one of those cards that we're putting in because we want to hit some threes and play some really good defense. Has 1 Hall of Fame badge in Off-Ball Pest and so many good gold badges in defense. Doug Christie also has a really solid jump shot and some good shooting badges, some solid playmaking ones, and we can add quick first step, which is solid. And then we have, you know, contact finisher, relentless, and giant slayer. We can add to really help him out in finishing. On top of his amazing defense, the 75 driving dunk, the ability to speed boost if we do give him a shoe. I don't really see it's too necessary, and obviously a awesome 90 on-ball steal tendency, which is gorgeous. Just like Michael Cooper, we have some pretty lackluster dribbling moves, but yeah, it was overall solid. If I had to pick between the two, I would definitely take Cooper over Christie, but they're both very solid cards. And next up, we have Darrell Griffith. Absolutely hate saying his name, but with Darrell Griffith, he's just one of those cards that, again, can do a little bit of everything. We're 6'4", which is a little tough, but 4 Hall of Fame badges, fast break finisher, silly finisher, showtime, and pogo stick. And the reason, actually, that I do have this Darrell Griffith in A tier and not S is because he can be insane defensively, but you really have to badge him out, and he still won't be the most amazing shooter because you can upgrade the Hot Zone Hunter to gold, but he's missing, you know, Deadeye, he's missing flexible release, Green Machine, range extender, things like that, and even catch and shoot, which is really tough. But we have gold quick first step already. We have a 96 driving dunk, so amazing defense along with the badges that we add. 85 shot 3, 85 shot mid, really solid speed, as well as the jump shot 40. The you know, Gary Payton, Boris Diaw, Bruce Bowen, Nicholas Batum jump shot base. It's money. You love it. You know it. You're going to use him, and he's going to be great. You get him off Triple Threat Online if anybody is wondering, and he's just an overall very solid card, but again, some big negatives that make me keep him out of S tier. And the same thing goes with Desmond Mason. And I really could say the same things about Desmond Mason that I was saying about Darrell Griffith, because insane finishing, and he's 6'7" at the 2. For some reason, he was 6'5" last year, and now he's 6'7". Interesting, 2K. Let me know how that works. But tons of quick first step. Comes with clamps on bronze already, so you can upgrade that at least to silver, and you'll be looking really solid. And then you can add some really good shooting badges to him, but he only has a 70 shot 3. So what you're going to need to do is definitely give him like a Nick Nurse coach boost so you get the +5, and then, you know, like an Adidas superstar so that his 3 goes up to a 78, and then somebody who has floor general, and now you have an 82 shot 3 and you'll be good. Now, he can speed boost off rip, some amazing, you know, playmaking, some amazing speed as well. So the shooting badges that you can add to him are definitely, you know, like catch and shoot, Deadeye, Green Machine, Hot Zone Hunter, and difficult shots, and then you are golden with Desmond Mason. We have some decent defensive tendencies, but the hard foul is a little bit high. And then we have the J.R. Smith jump shot. You know, the Kevin Porter Jr., Tim Hardaway, or just J.R. Smith jump shot 49. It is beautiful, it is money, and you know you love it. So Desmond Mason was up into A tier. The only thing that's really hurting him is how much MT you're going to have to put into him to make him an amazing shooter. But once you do it, he's definitely an S tier quality card. It's just way too expensive for me to throw him into S. And then last but not least, our S tier, starting off with Steve Smith, a card that, was I surprised when I saw how good he was, and I used him myself, and lordy, were those challenges easy. Now, Steve Smith is 6'7" at the 2, which is beautiful. We have 1 Hall of Fame badge, which is Green Machine, and some really solid shooting. Now, our playmaking, we're missing quick first step, but we can add it, so it's perfectly fine, and we can also add clamps. And then we have 88 shot 3, a 94 shot mid, some solid speed, good defense once we badge him out correctly, and we can speed boost if we play our cards right. Also, we have jump shot 22, one of the most buttery smooth jump shots in the game. Darren Williams, James Worthy, those type of guys got that jump shot. It is money, and you know you love it. And Steve Smith, I feel like he's just that perfect size 2 guard. You can add range extender to him, add quick first step to him, and add clamps to him, and then he becomes an absolute demon that I feel like nobody really can stop. It definitely is expensive, but I think there's more reward on the Steve Smith side than there is on somebody like Desmond Mason, because Steve Smith's going to be an insane shooter while still being able to hold his own on defense. So Steve Smith jumps in to the S tier. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Manu Ginobili, one of my favorite cards in the entire game, and just favorite people to have in 2K in general. And it's just because Manu's a gem. An absolute gem. 6'6" at the 2. He's gorgeous. You have to add quick first step to him and upgrade his clamps from bronze up to gold, but he's beautiful. Our finishing badges are insane. He can dunk on everybody. He can finish like crazy. He has solid defense. We have really good playmaking, an 88 shot 3, a jump shot that I personally love, but I understand some people don't like, and beautiful dribbling moves. The only negative that I do have with Manu is that he doesn't have range and has a 99 hard foul tendency, which is a little bit tough. But I've played against Manu many times, and not once has he ever gotten a flagrant, so I don't think it's too big of a deal, but it definitely is something to worry about. And I think it's not too big of a deal because his foul tendency is low, so I think he'll be fine. Next up, this is my probably biggest controversial pick that I have on this entire list, and it's going to be Amethyst Klay Thompson. And with this Klay Thompson, it is just because his jump shot is so money that I cannot ignore how great he is. Klay Thompson, 6'6" at the 2, 1 Hall of Fame badge in catch and shoot, has amazing, only 2 badges he doesn't have in shooting are deep fades and ice and veins. He has silver range extender off rip and silver hot zone hunter. Upgrade the hot zone hunter to gold, you're golden, has gold clamps, amazing defensive badges, and the only thing that he doesn't have is quick first step. But I've dropped 70 scoring only with this Klay Thompson off camera and things like that, with no finishing badges added to him, and he absolutely kills it. He's a 65 driving dunk, so depending on your coach boost, you can actually get it decently high, as well as with some sort of floor general, and it'll go up. But in the finishing badges that you can add, it's every single one, so whatever you want him to be, you can add. My recommendations are probably, Giant Slayer, Contact, Finisher, Pro Touch, and maybe, Acrobat or something like that, or Slithery, and you'll be absolutely golden. He can speed boost if you play your cards right, but I don't think it's necessary, and I think Klay Thompson is one of the best catch and shoot cards in the entire game, especially the 2, and best 3-and-D cards that you just can't ignore how amazing he is, and also has the Pro 6 behind the back, which is gorgeous. And last but not least, we have Pink Diamond David Thompson, because David Thompson, if you play your cards right, he's going to be an absolute gem. 6'4", a little undersized, but a nice jump shot in jump shot 9. It's not one of the most amazing, but it definitely is not bad by any means. 5 Hall of Fame badges, one being Pogo Stick. Again, I don't understand it, but Fast Break Finisher, Showtime, Slithery, and Teardropper with insane finishing. A 98 driving dunk and an 85 standing, 95 speed, and a 96 acceleration. but his speed with ball is definitely low. He can speed boost, he can shoot well, and we have solid defense, but we're going to need to boost up his defensive badges like clamps. We're going to need to add that and pick dodger, and then we're also going to need to add range extender, green machine, flexible release, and hot zone hunter on to David Thompson at the minimum in order to make him absolutely insane. And then we need to give him some sort of coach boost that is going to boost his speed with ball, but I'm not sure that there's any that actually do that, so it's going to be a little bit tough. And then we also need to add a coach boost so that he can get a shoe so that his speed with ball can also be boosted to really get the most out of our wonderful David Thompson. So this is our final list for the best shooting guards in 2K21 Myteam. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like the video, guys that enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. Yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.